Yeah, a quick one. We're having a seminar, what we call green economy. I will say some few things by way of introduction before we go into the green economy proper. But let me give an overview of it in a few statements. Green economy refers to land, agriculture, and food production. And from available research and statistics all over the world, we have discovered that green economy accounts for over 65% of world earnings. All of the businesses, all of the incomes, all of the economic drive here and there, 65% of all of them come from green economy. We have other areas of economy like digital economy, creative economy, intellectual economy, and so on and so forth. But green economy is the largest. There is no business anybody will do on earth without using land. There is no business anybody will do on earth without food. And beyond food, agriculture accounts for over 65% again of raw materials that service industries in the world. From our studies, we find out that 65% of raw materials that service world industries come from agriculture. About 25% come from other mineral and solid mineral resources, while 10% come from recycled materials, or what we call waste. So it's a very large area. All the great men in the world, the richest people in the world, if you trace to the origin of their wealth, you find out that they are involved in green economy. They are either into real estate, into food production, or they have something to do with raw materials. Okay, so that's an overview of what we're going to talk about, but let me give you some introduction to that. See, the earth today is governed by three forces. This earth we are living is governed by three forces. Now, if you don't consciously, through knowledge, enlist into the proper one, you'll find yourself somewhere in the wrong one. And there's no vacuum in nature. You must be somewhere. The three forces that govern the earth are these. One, power. Second one is prosperity. The third one is poverty. Those are the three forces that govern the entire earth. Now, power would have been the strongest force that governed the earth. But power is transient because power is regulated by law. When a man gains power, you see very powerful, exercise authority, but after some time, the law will hold him and said, your time is up. Because of that, power is not the strongest force. Power is actually very strong, override the others, but because you cannot hold power forever, power is not the strongest force. Now, poverty would have been the strongest force because it's more in number. But poor people are never united. Am I correct? Poor people are more in number. And with the power of number, they would have been the strongest force, but they are never united. You saw what happened last year when elections were taking place. In fact, those who had the money, those who had power, they divided the poor. And the poor could not unite. So, from studies, we have discovered that the strongest force, the most enduring force that governs the earth is prosperity. Wealth. When those who want to cling to power, want to get power, they use wealth. If they don't have the wealth, they meet those who are wealthy to support them. So, we find out that economy, wealth, drives power. Those who want to get power, they use wealth. Now, those who have the wealth, they influence the poor, and they use the wealth to command the poor to do their bidding. Am I correct? If you do as Christians, we say, no, we don't bow to wealth, we don't do this, we don't do that, but it's a reality in our day-to-day life. But I want to tell you, and I like everywhere I go, I encourage people, I say, poverty is not a good thing. It's not a good thing. The worst pandemic on earth is poverty. Poverty is the worst sickness. Even though in Christendom we say, please, we want to be humble, we want to live holy life. Poverty is not a function of humility, it's not also a function of holiness. You can be poor and still go to hell, true or false? You can be poor and go to hell. You can be rich and you make the kingdom of God. I read in my Bible where the Bible said, a poor man called Lazarus went to paradise and went to meet a rich man who has gone ahead, Abraham. So it is not poverty that determines where you will go. So if they teach you that wherever you go is not correct. So, but for you to have dominion on earth here, you need to enlist into the wealth sector so that you can live a fulfilled life. Are we together? I'm just trying to prepare your mind before we go into what we actually have for you. Now, we also discovered that for creation, God has wired every human being with potential to succeed. You know, if you are not succeeding in life, it is not because God made you so. It is because you have not been exposed to the right support system. There are support systems that God created to support us so that we can succeed in life. God did not make anybody poor. He did not make anybody rich. But He has planted potentials in everyone that when you have the needed support and the potentials work for you, you'll be successful in life. You have the dominion, you become wealthy. If you have the right information, if you have the right association with the right people, if you are in the right environment and you have the right equipment, instruments at your disposal, you will prosper. So what we have actually come to do today is to expose you to some of this support system so that you can make use of them and change your own story. Like I said, God has wired every one of us with what it takes to succeed. God has wired in us that infinite capacity to achieve anything. If you see what is happening in the world today, you will know that God has done well for us. That capacity in man to succeed, we see it is evident in the technology and the development we see in the society today. Some years back, certain things we imagine or we talk about, we conclude that these things will happen in the future. This thing will happen in the future. I was young, want to send a message from your village to a place like Lagos or Abuja, far away, one city. It takes 3 months or thereabout for you to write a letter, post it, and it will get to the receiver. And it takes another 3 months for you to get a reply. Am I communicating? But today, the story is a different one. As we are talking right now, you can send a message to somebody in Lagos, I will reply you while we are still talking, true or false. Now, these are the results of the potentials that God put in some people. Today, we're almost living in the future. We can achieve with technology and knowledge, we can actually achieve the result of 10 years, even within 10 days today. Am I correct? We can. Those days you carry shovel and begin to dig, you want to farm on your own and you begin to dig. Before you finish 1 acre is months. But today with technology, you have the right materials, tractors and so on. You can finish even 1 year task in a week. That is the product of what God has wired into some places. That will fail me to give testimonies and examples of how man is developing. Some years back, traveled to Dubai, and I saw a building, 240 stories, Burj Khalifa, has the fastest lift. We climb 120 stories within 60 seconds. Till tomorrow, it has the fastest lift in the whole universe. Somebody created that. The Bible will tell us that's a man subject to like passion like you and I. Now, but all of this is I'm talking about with more that we can't really go into now. You can't trace anyone to Africa here. You can't. If at Africa here, we are receivers and consumers. We consume the products of the technology of other people. That's the truth. You cannot hold any product and say this product belongs to Africa. Oh, this Toyota car was manufactured in Africa. Even when they talk about manufacturing in Africa, they are just doing assembly. Assembly. Am I correct? They are just assembling, building on what some persons have already developed or authored. We are just building on them. We don't have any product traceable to us. And the truth is this: if we cannot come out with our own products and we remain consumers, income will be flying away from our hands. Consumers are losers. Producers are gainers. Those who produce the things we consume, as we consume them, we send income to them every day. Income leave our pocket to them, and they gather our income together. They keep growing while we keep reducing. Now there is what we call the Africa problem. We call it the evil paradox of Africa. With our poverty, the developed nations, the white men, they don't leave Africa here. There's something good they see in Africa we don't see. They use it, we don't use it. I will call it the Africa paradox, the evil paradox of Africa. You know what it's called paradox? Paradox is like you are saying two opposite things about a person or about something. Oh, this man is very nice. Say, but don't mind him. He rapes small girls. You are giving a good report, a bad report about one person. Oh, that girl can smile. That girl can smile. Say, but don't mind. She's very hostile. She can smile. The next thing will be, oh, she's a very accommodating person. But you are going on to say, oh, she's very hostile. You are giving you are saying two opposite things about one person. That's a paradox. Now Africa has her own paradox. But Africa paradox did not end well. It is an evil one. What is it? Africa is the richest place in terms of natural resources. That's why the white man will not live here. But Africans are the poorest in terms of development and human capital. China will not live here. America will not live here. They'll keep sending aid to us, and you think they are doing us good. They give you 10 kobo, they collect 1 million naira materials from you. Africa to tomorrow is the richest place in terms of natural resources. We did a research some years ago, belonged to an organization they call Africa Kingdom Business Forum. Had a meeting there with the then President Yaradua. He didn't come because it was a Christian organization. I sent somebody. And in that meeting, an analysis was given about all the nations of the world. It was discovered that there are lands in Africa where you can grow every crop. You can grow every crop. In some countries, you can grow one or two. You cannot grow everything. But they said there are places in Africa here where virtually every crop can grow. Land is so fertile. Not only that, if I want to narrow it down to Nigeria, it was also concluded that in Nigeria, all the mineral resources in the world are found in Nigeria. Gold, uranium, you can name it. But beyond that, agriculturally, it was concluded Nigeria has one of the most fertile soil in the world. In fact, Nigeria is among the 7 countries that are most fertile in the world. Anything can grow in Nigeria. Anything, everything can grow in Nigeria. But the truth is this: we are not harnessing this God-given grace to us. You know, the best we do in Nigeria here, or let me say Africa, we narrow it out to Nigeria, the best we do is we get our raw materials. That is, if we're able to muster them, or we grow our crops. If we're able to farm, we give them out at raw material stage, and we get minimum return. Minimum return. Why? Because we still have a consumer mentality. We have that mentality of, let me have something now. We don't want to persevere, put in energy, gain knowledge, and convert our raw materials to finished goods that give value. One of the problems we have in Africa here is that our governments are run on our governments or our economies are run on raw materials and taxes, and no nation grow on raw materials and taxes because you get minimum results, minimum income. Let me give you an analysis of what I'm talking about. Let's take, for example, bamboo stick. Bamboo is our source of income as a government in this country. How much is a bamboo stick sold in the market? Maybe 1,000 naira, 2,000 naira. Is that okay? Are we together? If bamboo was our source of income as a government or as a people or as a family, how much can we sell a stick of bamboo? At best, 2,000 naira. Now we sell out a bamboo stick of 2,000 naira. The man from China buys it from you, takes it to China, converts it to toothpick. One bamboo stick is sell for 2,000 naira. The toothpicks that will come out of it will give you over 100,000 naira. I mentioned this in a meeting one day. A young man just picked the idea and he has been running with it right now in Delta State. He wants to start producing toothpick right now. I say, wow, we'll not waste these raw materials like that. I will not be in the waste train again. Is now on a new trajectory. Try to convert raw material to finished good, because that's where the value is. Am I communicating? That's where the value is. We have iron ore in Nigeria. If you pick our iron ore, the best we can get out of iron ore is this rod we use for building. Some time ago, a piece of rod will sell for 1,000, 2,000 naira, but with inflation today, it's about 10,000 naira. But that's a piece of rod that is sold for 10,000 naira. Take it beyond the rod and change it to nails. You will make over 100,000 from the nail that will come out of it. I'm sure that we have developed so much and we can tap our chest and say, Nigeria, we are doing well, we produce nails, but our nails are not strong. But if that is the best we can get out of our iron ore, we have not actually done ourselves well. But that same iron ore, if you take it to Europe, they take it beyond nails to what we call pins, these tiny pins. And the pins that come from one rod will sell for 2 million naira. If they develop it further from nails, from pins to jewelries, you will make over 20 million naira for what we are selling at a giveaway for 10,000 naira here. Okay, look at it now. You have your bamboo, you sell your bamboo, one for 2,000 naira. You are going to buy back the product of that bamboo to use. Now you are going to spend 100,000 naira to buy back the toothpicks that come from the bamboo. Are we together? That bamboo stick. You are going to sell another 50 bamboo sticks to buy back the value of one that you gave out. Are you getting richer or poorer? That's the African problem. That is the paradox of Africa. Oh, we need fine jewelries for our occasions and so on. Want to buy back our jewelries. We are going to sell almost all the iron ore we have as raw materials to buy back fine jewelry. There are jewelries of hundreds of thousands, even millions. I heard there are wristwatches of 1.something million, even 20 million naira, and so on and so forth. Look at the wristwatch. What is in it? Small thing that comes from raw material, but some people are tasking themselves to change those raw materials from one level of value to another level of value to another level of value. And so they are making so much. We have actually come to expose you to knowledge today, to introduce you to knowledge that will put you on a very high scale. And God helping every one of us, you will become a champion in life. Maybe I just pray for you that you become a champion tomorrow. Okay. Having said all of that, let me take you to green economy that we brought to you. Let me digress a little. Sorry, this is not an insult to anybody. This is not an insult to Africa. This is not an insult to Nigeria. God are part of the system too. Everybody needs the correct knowledge to grow. When I hear people say, I have the best, I have done my best, you're actually benchmarking yourself. Knowledge is progressive. God has not deposited all the knowledge in one person. And that is why I encourage people, wherever you hear teachings, anything that will give you knowledge, please listen. And Take the much you can take and make the most use of what you have taken. When I was growing up as a child, I never went to KG. In our time, there was no kindergarten. We went to primary school straight. From primary school, we went to grammar school. In our days, it was grammar school. There was no GSS and SS. Please, can I ask a question? How many of you went to grammar school here, the old system? Then you must be an old school. Yes, I can see one hand there, an old school. These fathers here, I thought we were old school. Okay, sorry, that's a joke. Nowadays, we just went to primary school, 6 years, secondary school, 5 years, went to university, But today, you know what's happening? Education starts from day one, creche, right? Put your child in creche for 1 year. After creche, you take your child to pre-KG. That's another 1 year. How many years? How many years now? 2 years. After pre-KG, the child will enter KG proper. And we have KG1, KG2, KG3. How many years has the child spent? After all of this, the child will enter primary school to spend 6 years. Add 6 to 5, how many years? 11 years. After the 11 years, he will go to JSS. 1, 2, 3. Add 3 to 11. How many years? Let's do the mathematics together. How many years? 14. It does not end there. He will go to senior secondary. Senior secondary is another 3 years. Add 3 years to 14. How many years? 17. After the 17 years, he will take his jump and go to the university. And the least years he can spend in university is how many years? 4. Add 4 to 17. 21. After 21, after the university training, he will go for compulsory youth service of 1 year. Add that 1 year to the 21 year. How many years? 22. Now, after 22 years of rigorous training, rigorous education from birth, the child will come out to begin to beg somebody who did not go to school for a job. Am I just exaggerating? After 22, some people spend more than that. Some run 5 years course, 6 years course. Some after the first degree, they say, let me go for masters. Maybe when I get masters, my way will open. They finish the masters and they are still begging somebody who did not go to school to employ them. So you ask yourself, what has happened to us? Even now, I'm just telling you that even our educational system has not helped us. That is why I encourage people that if you see anywhere you get relevant knowledge, don't play with it. And that's what we actually brought to you. We were all victims of the system. We went through all of this. It's only the KG that we didn't go through in our time. Went through all of this, went to university and all of that, came out. But what made us today was the drive for personal development. We just had that drive that I must be something, I must be somebody. In the process, we discovered that God has created some support systems for us. One, information, people, and environment, and the content of the environment. So we on our own started pursuing. We were deciding what kind of information we want to get because of what we want to achieve. The world on its own will not give you what you want. It is you that will place a demand. It is your seriousness, your commitment, your sacrifice that will open way for you. Are we together? So today, I bring to you what we call green economy, the best, easiest way to make wealth. I'll talk about 2 aspects of it today. And trusting God that if you're interested and you connect, we'll go to the next level. Subsequently, we'll arrange for us to go to the next level together. Every rich man that is very rich all over the world and is not falling. There are rich men that go up and they come down. We have seen all of them in our communities. They tell you that man was very rich before, but now he has come down. You know, why did he come down? He did not lay hand on things that can sustain wealth. Every rich man that has sustainable wealth, he has his leg in real estate. I can tell you that for free. Are we together? Every person. There was a place we went to negotiate for land for an estate, particular estate for our company. And they told us that that richest man in this social region has also come to negotiate for land. He's not going to use the land for now, but he wants to buy the land and keep it there. When the land begins to appreciate, he will either use it or he will sell it and make more money. Every rich man on earth has one of his legs in real estate. If you are not into real estate, you don't have wealth. Money will come into your heart, it will fly away. Every other thing you do in life depreciates. Only real estate appreciates. Everything, I can tell you that. Everything in life depreciates. The only thing that do not depreciate, that appreciates continually without you putting in any effort, is land. Yes. Even when you build a house, your house is not the best investment. Fire can burn off your house. If it doesn't burn off the house will still depreciate over time. Fire can burn the house off. But can I tell you, if fire burn your land, it helps the land to appreciate. You know, when you buy land in bush, you need money to clear it so that it will have value, right? So if somebody set fire in your land and burn the land, has it made it to depreciate? It has made it to appreciate. Land, not the spoil. That's one of our slogan in real estate. Land, not the spoil. I went to, in our company, we have the pretty section. Somebody invited me to an estate. This is Army Estate. As you drive out of Warri, by your left, after the roundabout on your left, you drive it to Sapele, there's that Army Estate. Man invited me to do some work for him. So I went there. Man has a very beautiful house. There was an empty land behind his house in the estate. So I was asking the man, I said, oh God, this land is, the owner not developing it. He said, no, the owner just acquired that time. He wants to sell it now. He said, you see this land we bought for 1 million plus. The man wants to sell it 15 million. I said, God forbid, 15 million for what they bought for 1.something million naira. You know, that time I was building. So I just look at, why waste my money on that land when I'm building? So I went to build. This year, as we were driving with some real estate experts to look at some of our estates. So from story to story, I just mentioned, I said, we'll drive past the estate. I said, I wanted to buy a land in this estate some 4 years ago. I decided the plot is 15 million. I just left it. And somebody told me from Jews that the land there is going to be about 40 million. The guy said, no. He said, they sold the plot, there's 70 million. I look at myself, I say, what's wrong with me? I was building the house, nobody was chasing me. Nobody was competing with me. Nobody set target for me. That time I would have been able to buy 3 plots. If I bought 3 plots 4 years ago at 45 million naira and sell them for 70 million naira times 3 today, that's about 200 and something million naira. I hit my head, I say, something's wrong with me. I was angry with myself. Some very wise people who understand what real estate is, they buy land as retirement package for themselves. Not even buy to build, buy so that they will sell later. Because land appreciates continually. The place I bought where I built my personal house in Warri, I bought it for 8 million naira. And then from one thing to the other, I wanted to do some transactions with banks. They said they want to come and value my properties. And the value I came, I was asking, no, before he came, he was asking me, what's the value of your land? I said, that land would not reach like 30 million naira. He said, no problem. So he consulted other real estate valuers. And the man came to me and said, your land is valued, the land without the building is 50 million. The land I bought for 8 million. I said, if I had known, I would have just bought more in that environment now. Now they bought everything. Tell you the truth. I was coming, I was just sharing with one of my friends. We passed one property I sold to a friend. I bought a land for 1.2 million naira along the road around Ozoro. And one of my friends said, oh boy, I needed this your land. I said, oh boy, give me 5.6 million naira. Because I knew the value, he credited me immediately and got it. To me, it was big money. But today, that land has even gone far beyond that. If you have land that is genuine, in genuine place, bro, go and buy it. Muster all the efforts you can to buy the land. Land is the only thing that secures your future. We call it future secured investment. future secured investment. If you want to retire to prosperity in the future, go invest on land. And let me tell you another thing about land. There are a lot of 419s in land matters. But I will tell you this for free. And I will vouch for every real estate company all over the world. No real estate company, registered real estate company, will dagbo you with land. An individual can play you games. A family can play you. Even a community can play you. You can buy land legitimately from a family. Legitimately, will give you all the documents, everything. Other members of the family will come to make wahala with you. Say they did settle us well. The land you bought is legitimate, but other members of the family can rise up to say, we are not well settled, God, we are not selling this land unless you settle us. There are cases where people have settled 1, 2, 3 parties, true or false? Am I correct? But if you buy land from an established real estate company, you have no problem. Even if the land has problem, and the sellers, those who have the root of title, want to take the land from the real estate, you have no problem. You don't go to court with anybody. The real estate will only relocate you to another of their estate and give you land. Because it is more profitable for a real estate company to make money legitimately. For instance, all of you here now, if you buy land from me, and the land is genuine, you sell it and you make profit, you want to buy another one from me, right? And you also want to recommend other people. All of this is I'm saying that you want to replicate that to some people. I say, no, go to these people, you make way through there. True or false? If I play only one person, Wayo, in this Asaba, our company name is Africa Green Gate Limited. It takes, bad news travel faster. It will just go everywhere that there's a company called Africa Green Gate Limited. I don't meet them for land. Our career, our prospects, everything is dead on the spot. True or false? That's why I can speak for every real estate company. No real estate company will play you games when it comes to land. If the land has problem, they will bear the problem themselves. If you buy land from a company, let's take for instance our own, African Green Gate Limited, you are not dealing with me. I don't pray to die tomorrow, but they can come anytime. Even if I die, which is the worst, the company still exists. The company still have director. You dealt with the company. I won't give you deed in my name. I'll give you deed on the company's name. Are we together? Anytime, any day you walk to the company and say, company, give me my land back. Are we together? So I want to encourage you. We are bringing some potentials on your way in land. I'll come to the other side of a green economy, which is agriculture. We have estates we're letting out now in Warri, and we have created about 4 portfolios for those who are interested. One of the portfolios is, and you can't see land cheaper than the one we have, I'm telling you. Because we buy land massively. None of our estates is less than 100 acres. So where they are selling land 3 million naira, when we buy, because we buy massively, we acquire massive expanse of land. The price will crash. Where the individuals are selling a plot 3 million naira, we'll be selling 1.7. It's not because we don't know what to do with money, we want to sell fast. If we make 100,000 naira, 200,000 naira, into how many hundreds of plots, and we sell quickly and move on, it's better for us. And then we'll have made a name. Those who buy from, they will keep coming to say, do you have land to sell for us? Are we together? That's why we'll sell our lands very cheap. Number 2, there are things that makes lands appreciate. That's one portfolio. There's one portfolio you buy. You own the land you develop in our estates. There's another portfolio, we call it land banking. So if you're backing your money in the bank, back it in land. In that one, you may not want to build. You are just buying it and keeping it in when it appreciates. And then you sell and you make your money. Are we together? Yes, we call that one land banking. The truth is that when an estate is open for development, estate is always planned out. Most of the people that buy land in estate may not have the financial muscle to build to the specification or the architectural design of the estate. So what they do is, sometimes you can ask for transfer of your property to where you can have the muscle to develop, financial muscle to develop, or You can ask the company to help you save, and you pocket your money, go and buy cheap land near your community, and you relax. So the second portfolio is called land banking. Now you are buying with intention that you are preparing a retirement package for yourself. The land you will buy from us, 750,000 naira today or 850,000 naira today, in the next 5 years, that land should not be cheaper than 15 million naira. I tell you that. We know how to make lands appreciate. We know the investors, we know the developers that will attract. But again, beyond that, we don't just buy lands anyhow. There are landmarks and indices that we consider in buying lands, that indices that will help the lands to appreciate. First, we get government development plans to make sure that the government is not going to use the land, but government development is coming close to that place. Because if government cite a big project in a place, people want to buy land there, then people start rushing. When they come rushing, that's what will help you to sell what you have bought in our estates. That time the price will go up. Are we together? I listened to a man who said he was offered a plot of land in Lekki in those days, some years back, for 150,000 naira, 120,000 naira. He just bought a few. And the land that was offered to him for 120,000 naira is sold for 120 million naira today, 1,000 times the value. It may not always be so in every case. But what happened is that these guys were able to see far. They went into the development plan of the nation, and that of Lagos, and they discovered that this land, there's the probability of government siting industry in this place, mega industry in this land. They saw the plan. Government used to have 10 years, 5 years development plan. States used to have that too, the regions and all of that, like NDDC. Are we together? So we have looked at all of that, checked all of those indices. We know where government is moving to do projects in this state. We know where they want to site the investing. We know where they want to site this. In fact, we know where they are siting already, and we have gone to pitch our tents in all of those, around those areas. And once those developments start, you that bought property from us, you'll be smiling home. Okay, so we encourage you to be part of our real estate business. Then the third portfolio we have is this. There are some persons, maybe among you or beyond you, who are just wanting to invest their money. They don't want to wait for land to appreciate before they sell. We accommodate such. You bring your money, there's a percentage every year you get. We'll negotiate that. Then we have another portfolio. People wanting to invest into certain equities. We'll take your money, we'll add it to our own, we buy an estate. In fact, this last one is actually more profitable. But so the risk in it is that sometimes when you need your money, we have not sold the land. The land can be there 1 year, 2 years. But again, it's still easy because everything is done with agreement. We can agree. If you are coming to invest in that fourth portfolio, we can agree on how to share profit and you get your capital. If we agree on yearly sharing of profit, it will be on yearly. If we agree on quarterly, it will be so. If we agree on every month, it will be so. We can also agree on sharing profit on the go. What I mean by on the go is if we say, take the capital you invested for that particular place, and then take your profit and you go. Is that clear to us? Okay, I just want to pause a little. Is there any question before I enter into the other side of green economy? So there are some handbills given to you. Can I go through them? You are interested, you register with us. We have flexible payment system. Flexible payment system. We have what we call outright payments for properties. And we understand that not all figures are equal. And most people we meet, they are working on salary, they are not contractors, they are not bourgeois in business. So we designed a flexible payment system where you can pay small for 12 months, 6 months. You can pay small for 12 months. If you are buying a land of even 1.7 million naira, the day you have as small as 5,000 naira you can pay, even 2,000 naira you can pay. The day it is good for you, you have about 100,000 naira you can pay. But if you are a salary earner, you look at your salary and you know you can part with so much, then you can run a particular schedule with how much you can part with every month. If your salary is like 150,000 naira, you can part with 70 or 60 something thousand naira every month, and in the next 10 months or thereabouts or 1 year, you have owned a plot to yourself, it will be very difficult. It will affect your expedition. It will affect your everything for that period. But you are building a secured future for yourself. Is that okay? Yes. I had people do that. Even bankers in the bank, they just say, I got my salary, I can't take more than 120,000. I say, it's your choice. If it's 120, you can be paying every month. Go choose the kind of land that can give to you in the next 6 months or 12 months. And then they register, they start paying gradually. When they finish paying, then they own a plot of land. So finish paying, they continue again. Some people pay outright for 1 or 2 plots, and they'll start paying small.